Hi chat. Hi chat. Today we're gonna be reading some spooky Halloween. We're gonna be reading some spooky Christmas stories, and and a little bit later on we're gonna be reacting to some short Christmas horror movies. Yippee! I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. This cozy background and this ambience is just chef's kiss. I forgot the credit for this background, but it's a free asset from somebody. I forgot to credit the person, and I already forgot where I downloaded it from. ADHD be damned. So if anybody knows who made this background, be sure to tell me so I can credit them properly. Hi Mew Mew, how are you? How are you? Are you looking forward to Christmas? I just need to bring up my stuff here. I think I'll have the ambience and the stories I'll be reading on a different flight. Good, I'm going home, currently waiting on the flight. Ooh, how about you? I'm good. Ooh, are you going home for Christmas? That sounds fun. These stories I'm going to be reading are short stories. They're like a few paragraphs long each, so hopefully we can get immersed in them. And then after we've read some spooky Christmas stories, we're going to be reacting to some Christmas short horror movies on YouTube. It's going to be fun. Story time, yeah, story time. Courtesy of r/no sleep users. I'll start in just a bit. I want to give a couple more minutes just to see if some certain moderator of mine will come in or not. Also, if we still have time after the stories and short horror movies, I'm probably gonna either play More Your Turn to Die or play Project Diva, I don't know. I doubt we'll have time though, because I only have like 2 hours. I could fall asleep with this background and this music though. It's so cozy. Okay, I think we should get on with the first story, right? We can get on with the first story. If the person joins in, it's a short story. They can watch the VOD or something. I'm trying my best currently not to fall asleep. I know, it's cozy, right? Okay, well, let's get right on to the first story, shall we? This one is called The Christmas Season by user Platoon. And it was uploaded 15 years ago. Holy shit, Reddit is that old. When I think 15 years ago, I think like around the year I was born, and then I remember I'm 23. God, I feel old. Bro, my Bros and Hoes 2010 was 15 years ago. What the fuck? How was 2010 15 years ago? That's crazy. Anyways, hi Rai Rai! You're just in time for the first story to start. So yeah, The Christmas Season by user Platoon. Okay, before I start, how's the background music? Is it quiet enough? I want it like not overbearing, just in the background. How are you, my beloved? I don't know if I asked that already. Good, I think. Nice. Okay, we'll leave it like it is then. Okay. I'm good. What about you? I'm good. Excited to read some spooky stories and watch some spooky horror movies. Okay, let's get into the first story for real this time. The Christmas Season by user Platoon. 3 years before I was born, my mother and father had their first child. Thank you for the raids! Thank you for the raids, guys. Oh my god. I'm laughing because we've tried to get into the first story 3 times now and something's... Thank you for the raids. Welcome in, Raiders, and Shigamo and Aldris and Taku. Welcome in. Oh my god, the alert's gonna play 3 times. Okay, let's do some shoutouts. Perfect timing, yeah, as we just start the first story. Hi Aldris, how are you? How is everyone? And one more time. Are we going to hear Miku one more time? How is Mizu? I'm good. Are we not going to hear Miku again? Damn. Okay. The Christmas Season by user Platoon. 3 years before I was born, my mother and father had their first child. He lived for a mere 7 minutes before his breathing stopped and he died. I have never inquired as to what caused him to stop breathing. A little over a year after this terrible incident, my parents had a daughter, and then 2 years after her, I was born. Naturally, my parents had no reason to tell me about my older brother when I was younger, and even as we all got older, the story was never told to me, and presumably because it was too painful to recall. If the following events had never occurred, I might have never found out about him at all. In early December, during my junior year of high school, the family gathered round the Christmas tree to load it up with the ornaments we had gathered over the years. Our family had continued to grow after my birth. My parents had added another son and daughter. My parents had bought each of us an ornament each year, so after adding these to the stockpile that they had owned before we were born, we always had one hell of a time fitting all the Wait, does that make sense? My parents had bought us each an ornament each year, so after adding those to the stockpile that they had owned before we were born, we always had one hell of a time fitting all the ornaments onto the tree. Yeah, I'm right, that does make sense. Okay, anyways. This year was no different, but we pushed and slid and shoved and eventually found some green for all of them. In addition to the ornaments, we had a fairly nice manger set that was for all of them. Wait. Jesus Christ, I can't read. We had a fairly nice manger set that was placed under the tree. It had the whole damn birth party, and of course contained a wooden crib in which the figurine of baby Jesus lay. After my siblings and I had set this up, we stood for a minute or two and admired our work, and then we each went our separate ways and on with life. A day after setting up the tree, I walked into the living room to find one of my ornaments on the ground. It was the first ornament that had been given to me and had firstborn son etched into its face. The bright bronze had become cloudy over the years, but the ornament was sentimental, so it always managed to find a prominent place on the tree. I found the spot I thought it had fallen from and rehung it before walking through the room. I passed through the room the next day to find the ornament again on the ground, and again I hung it up. I tried to hang it in a different spot this time, assuming the weight had allowed it to slide from a thin branch, but to no avail as it was on the ground the following day as well. I placed it back on the tree and was not too surprised when I came in the next day to find the ornament missing from the spot. What did surprise me, however, was that the ornament was not on the ground, but instead sitting on the coffee table a few feet away. I assumed my mother was having the same problem with the ornament and had just given it up and placed it on the table. So I stopped in the kitchen to ask her about it. She was doing the dishes, and when I asked, she turned around with a funny look on her face and told me that she too had been picking the ornament up each time she walked into the room. For the next few days, each time I walked into the room, I continued to find the ornament off of the tree. But now the location had changed. It was no longer lying in random spots on the floor or on the table like it had been before. Each time I walked in the room now, the ornament was inside of the roofed manger, leaning against the crib with the Jesus figure. I was young, and I'm sure that didn't help prevent me from thinking that things were adding up a little strangely. It really seems stupid now, but I grew up in a semi-religious family, and something about finding my firstborn son ornament leaning against Jesus every day appeared to me to be a harbinger of something evil that would come of my way. The non-surprising thing is, nothing ever happened to me. Obvious, I suppose, but my dad, my no-nonsense get out of my face with your stupid paranormal bullshit, I'm just going to go into this dark, scary room to get the toolbox, mysterious moaning be damned had something happened to him. He tended to work in his basement office until the wee hours of the morning. Most of that time was actually filled with him sleeping in his chair, as evidenced by him springing up and feigning awareness every time I would go into the basement late at night. In the early hours of the morning of December 23rd, he was, as usual, down in the basement. Around 2 a.m., he was awakened by the footsteps crossing down the first floor hallway above his head. He decided he would come up and see who was up. Hee-hee-wee. And then continue upstairs to bed. As he came up the basement stairs, he could hear the person walking through the kitchen on the other side of the door, but when he opened it, the person had just crossed into the dining room. He followed the steps through the kitchen and around the bend, but again was too late. The footsteps had beat him around the turn and into the living room. He rounded the corner and was surprised to see an empty room and no longer hear the footsteps. From the other room, they had appeared to stop at the Christmas tree. As he stood there scanning the space and trying to figure out what he had heard, he noticed an object lying on the ground towards the middle of the room. As he walked up to it and started bending over, he realized there were actually two objects lying in the middle of the living room floor: baby Jesus and the firstborn son ornament that was lying against his side. The next day, my dad told us all the story at breakfast. My parents must have known I was feeling a little unsettled from it all, so they decided to finally tell me what they had kept a secret for 16 years. They told me about their happiness at getting pregnant, the 9 long and exciting months my mum had carried my brother, and their feeling of complete desolation and absolute loss when he died. They told me how it still hurt, especially around the holidays. At first I assumed this was because everyone becomes sentimental around the holidays. Then they told me the real reason. My brother had been born and died on December 23rd at 2 a.m. Last night had been the 20th anniversary of his death. So that was the first story. What do we think of that? I kind of... it was a little underwhelming for me. The ended especially. Because the start kind of gave away, like, the plot. It was alright. I think it would have been better if the author made it so we, the viewer, didn't know, like, about the brother until the end, like the main character in the story too. It would have been like an oh my god kind of twist. Or maybe just said that his brother had died and, like, then revealed his brother was a baby and the firstborn and stuff. So yeah, that was the first story. I'm really gonna fall asleep with this music in the background. It's so comfy. Okay. Story number 2. Eepy girly? I'm not eepy, it's just this music's really cozy and comfy and it just makes me want to curl up and, like, go to sleep, you know? actually tried to slow it down a little bit and make it spooky, but it's still comfy. Okay. You know, I might only manage a few stories. Like 3 or 4. And then we can move on to the horror movies. Yippee. Okay. Story number 2. This is a spy cam in my Christmas tree called More Than Just Santa by Manon Lisette. Last year on Boxing Day, I found a really cool ornament in the clearance box. It had a built-in camera to record a unique perspective on your holiday celebrations. Wait, that's so cool, I actually want one of those. I grabbed the last one from the store's dusty shelf and brought it home for less than $10. I forgot about it until my wife, my 2 daughters and I decorated the house earlier this month. I told my daughters about the camera and said we'd secretly catch Santa in the act. I had an old costume in the attic and attempted to deliver some gifts in full view of the camera on Christmas night. My girls were overjoyed and went back and forth trying to find the best place to put the ornament on the tree. I had no idea Daddy repositioned it later so it could actually catch the living room and a good angle. In the nights leading up to Christmas, I turned the camera on to make sure everything was working properly. In the morning, I previewed the footage, just long enough to confirm the thing was working. Satisfied, I inserted the microSD card back into the ornament and slipped in a new battery, in anticipation for the big night. Daddy didn't want to disappoint his girls with a failed recording. We enjoyed Christmas Eve as a family, playing board games and eating way more junk food than there was room in our stomachs, like we do every year. We let our daughters open one gift from Mummy and Daddy before going to bed. The girls, still riding their sugar high, could be heard giggling in their bedrooms from all the way up the stairs. From time to time, my wife and I could hear one of them shush the other, claiming she'd heard hooves on the roof or bells jingling. Eventually, our kiddos dozed off. My wife kissed me on the cheek and headed to bed while I turned off all the lights. I retrieved the costume and tiptoed to the living room, getting ready for my big feature film debut. I did everything you would expect Santa to do. I ate most of the cookies, I drank the milk, I pet my large stomach and said my ho-ho-ho's, and I dropped a few presents by the fireplace, all in full view of the camera. A pretty good acting job if I do say so myself. On Christmas morning, the girls came running into our bedroom to wake us up. They excitedly insisted we watch the video before opening the presents. I transferred the footage to my laptop, forwarded to where Santa showed up and pressed play. My girls squealed with delight and jumped in front of the screen, frantically waving at Santa while obscuring the video from my view. I pat my large stomach, he's just like me for real. It brought me so much joy to see how happy the girls were. I was too lazy to stop the video, so it continued to play in the background while we unwrapped our gifts. I spotted a box I had not seen the night before. It was a small one wrapped in a blue foil paper I did not recognise. My name was on it, but my wife seemed as surprised as I was to see it there. Noticing my confusion, my youngest daughter spoke. "Daddy, that's got to be from Mr. Elf," she said, her voice cheerful and bright. I was ready to dismiss her elf comment as just another weird thing kids say, but my wife wasn't so quick to ignore it. "Honey, what elf?" she asked. My daughter pointed to the laptop. By then, the video had ended and all that was left on the screen was a preview of the first frame. "The one that came with Santa," she answered. Panic struck me like a bird in a jet propeller. I know my wife didn't dress up as an elf. I scanned the video, clicking forward and back until I saw what my daughter had seen. There was someone in the living room. He walked into the corner after I had turned the lights off. He stood there watching me parading around as Santa. The video went completely quiet after that. It was as if the camera failed to record a single sound. The strange, tall man in an elf costume stood perfectly still for over an hour, watching the camera from a distance. After a while, he walked over to the plate of cookies and bit the head off a gingerbread man. I glanced at the plate and saw his teeth marking on the decapitated cookie. The man then quietly approached the Christmas tree. I thought the audio wasn't working, but as he reached the tree, I began to hear his slow and steady breaths. He reached towards the ornament and the video stopped. In a terrified frenzy, I grabbed the blue box he'd left behind. I ripped the bow off of it and tossed the frilly thing away. I frantically removed the wrapping paper, opened the box and looked inside. There, on a bed of bubble wrap, was the battery I'd put in the camera the night before. My wife took the ornament and opened the back. The battery was missing. I don't know what scares me more, what the camera caught or what the elf might have done after he turned off the camera. That was the second story. I like that one a little bit more than the first. I like the sort of ambiguous ending where we don't know exactly what the man did. All we know is that he was spooky. Yeah, I like that one. Let's take a few minutes break. Just so I can kind of reset my throat a little. It's not hurting, but we'll give it a few minutes break. So, how is everyone in chat? Are you excited for Christmas? Got any fun plans? Tell me all about what you're planning for Christmas and what you're hoping to get and stuff. I already know a few things I'm getting for Christmas. I paid half for one of them. Of course, I'm getting a PS5. I paid half for it, my mum paid the other half. Amazon gave away some of the things I'm getting because they gave me notifications of, hey, blah blah blah, just bought this off of your Amazon wish list. And I was like, gee, thanks Amazon. I keep forgetting to turn that off. Well, I asked for a few things, mostly Transformers and a few Fallout things. Nice, nice. I should have guessed that you asked for Transformers. I imagine that if I ever come to your house, I'd walk into your bedroom and every single wall will just be coated in shelves of Transformer figurines. It'll be like that one episode of that one Power Rangers series or movie or whatever it was, where all the past Power Rangers like gathered to beat the enemy. Have you ever seen that? I think it was the movie. I think it might have been I can't remember the other series. Super Power Rangers or something, I want to say. It's like the one where the Red Ranger's name was Troy, I think. I think his name was Troy. Unless that's the name of the one from Samurai. Damn it. But yeah. I imagine I walk into your room and it's like that scene from that one Power Ranger. Yeah, I think, yeah. It was that because I'm pretty sure that was like the last ever Power Rangers series they made. I just walk into your room and it's like that, but for Transformers. Alright. How long have I been going for? 24 minutes, okay. How about we go for one more story and then we watch some Christmas horror movies, and then if we feel like it afterwards we can read some more stories. Because it's probably not going to be that long today unless I decide to play some Your Turn to Die afterwards. Yep, yeah. Because on the 23rd I'll be having a somewhat long stream, like 3-4 hours probably. Got some stuff planned for then. We're going to be playing some Project Diva, maybe a Christmas visual novel or two. I can find some more Christmas short horror movies to react to. Okay. Actually, you know what? We might be able to do 2 more stories. This one's pretty short. We'll probably do 2 more. Okay. Let me get some hydration. Yay, I'll mark my calendar so I get sleep. Yay! Okay. This one's called I Hear Santa's Reindeer Outside, shouted my 6-year-old, by Blair Daniels. Mummy, what are you doing? I'm bringing the turkey. I'm brining. Okay, let me start that again. Mummy, what are you doing? I'm brining the turkey. What's brining? I soaked the turkey in salt water and... Why? Hey, I said, tightening the strings on my apron. Why don't you go play with the Starman toy I got you? I don't want to play with it anymore. Kids these days lose interest in a new toy in an hour. Want to watch Mummy take out the Christmas cookies? I pulled the tray out the oven. Heat nipped at my fingers. The cookie Jackson made was burnt at the edges and terribly misshapen. Your cookie turned out great, see? Can I eat it now? He asked, his grimy little hand shooting for it. I thought it was for Santa. There's a star man waiting in the sky. It was, but I'm hungry, and if everyone else is feeding Santa cookies, he doesn't really need mine, right? Smart kid. I led him into the dining room with the cookie and a tall glass of milk. Here you go, honey. He sat down. I glanced at the window. Christmas lights from the house across the street twinkled back. In the falling dusk, I patted him on the shoulder and began walking away. Mummy! What now? Yes, Jackson? I hear jingling of Santa's reindeer. That's nice, I said. Probably just that old man next door, walking his cool gear, but whatever. I'm not going to rain on his parade. I'm going to listen to the reindeer. Thank God. Finally, something to keep him busy. I returned to the kitchen and frowned at the turkey. It looked so pale and slimy. My mother would be here tomorrow and she was so particular about it. Don't overcook it. It'll be too dry. Don't put too much salt. Nobody likes a salty turkey. And don't burn it. Oh my goodness, don't burn it. Her voice echoed in my head. Dave made such a perfect, wonderful turkey last year. The way he seasoned it, it was exquisite. Yeah, well, then I caught Dave seasoning someone else's turkey. So to speak. Mummy, I hear them, he shouted. That's great, I called back. Dave's attempts to reconcile were, to say the least, lacking. Sometimes he'd leave me a voicemail just saying I love you and then hanging up. Other times he'd text me a photo of his hand wearing the wedding ring. No caption, nothing else in the picture, just his hand. And the ring was so stupid looking. Anyway, silver encrusted with a ton of tiny garnets, because red is the colour of love. Red is also the colour I saw when I found them. Mummy! I hear them, the jingling and footsteps. That's great, honey. Listen, listen! I sighed and rinsed the slime off my hands. Okay, Jackson, I'm coming, I said, stepping into the dining room. I listened. Jingle, jingle. I froze. My heart began to pound. Santa's here, see? He squealed. Jingle, jingle. It wasn't the jingling of bells or a leash. It was the jingling of keys as someone tried the lock. I grabbed Jackson's arm and dragged him out of the dining room. Mummy, what are you doing? We're going to sit here and wait for Santa to come down the chimney, see? I said, my voice quavering. I eyed the back door. Could we make a run for it? Thump, thump. He's on the roof, Jackson squealed, grinning. Thump, thump. I hugged Jackson, holding him as close as I could. Thump, I screamed. Jackson broke free from my arms and ran towards the chimney. And then I saw it. A small box, wrapped in black paper, had fallen in through the fireplace. Jackson, no! It was too late. He picked it up, grinning. Then he frowned. It's not mine. He shoved it into my lap. It's for you, Mummy. Hands shaking, I picked it up. The note read, You changed the locks. My heart pounding, I lifted the lid of the box, a ring encrusted with 1,000 tiny garnets. That was story number 3. That seemed like more like a comedy to me, not gonna lie. Red is also the colour I saw when I caught them for. That was a good line, not gonna lie. Okay, let me find another. Here we go. Here's another. Yippee. Oh, give me a sec, chat. I have a DM on Discord. Ah. It's my father, chat. My father is DMing me about another of his ideas. Yippee! Okay, let me see this one. Oh, that was long. Holy shit. That was long. Okay, maybe not that one. I mean, I'm interested about this one actually. Please don't be that long. Okay, it's long, but you know what? You know what? It's the last story. We can do a longer one. We're about to like watch videos, so my throat's gonna get a rest, right? I'm curious about this one. Okay. The last story for right now is called Each Night My Advent Calendar Showed Me Something Terrifying by Michael Whitehouse. It was the Christmas of 1965, before man had landed on the moon, before the wall had fallen, before many things good and bad. For me, it was the last time that I knew innocence, before the creeping shadow which engulfed my family, before the madness, before death, before... It was the Advent calendar, that damned thing which I had to have. Each door a promise of Christmas, and each window a misted reminder of the warmth and kindness of the festive season. I was 9 years old, and while the parents in my neighbourhood would have no fears for their children in the past, allowing them to play freely in the icy December streets, those days were lost like breath on the mirror. If snow had fallen, there would have been no joy, no snowball fights in the darkened evenings, no sledges sliding carefree down the fields nearby. Children could not be children. Though the young may have felt apprehension in the dark, it was the parents who were the most fearful, terrified of the ultimate loss, a pain they could never extinguish. For the previous 3 Christmases, without fail, the worst had happened. A child went missing. While I was very young, I remember it all as though it was yesterday. The suburb where we had lived had become the most sombre of places. Such a tragedy can do that, slowly draining away any hope or happiness from a community like blood from an open wound. No Christmas tree nor carol sang could stem the flow. The first to disappear was Tommy Graham. He was 11 years old, and although I had seen him around, I didn't really know him personally. I remember my mother crying about it. Just the thought of something terrible happening to a child distressed her greatly, and the pain that the parents must have been going through was often on her lips. That Christmas my dad held on to me tighter than he had ever done before, and I could tell they were affected terribly by the disappearance, just as the rest of the community had been. The following year, another Christmas came and another child was taken. Her name was Cheryl, and she was only 4 years old, tiny and fragile. Tears were shed, misplaced rage vented towards the police who were unable to find her, and by New Year it was commonly held view that, like Tommy the year before, little Cheryl would never be found. I, like many of my friends, had been scared by the vanishing children. It was the first time that I became aware that adults could do harm, even to the most vulnerable of us, that children were not always safe, and that those bigger and stronger than us could have unspeakable things on their minds. Yes, I had heard the fairy tales and frightening stories of the Pied Piper and the Bogeyman, but what was going on in our suburb was far more gut-wrenching, far more real than any tall tale. Despite this impact, it was not until the third child disappeared that I was truly heartbroken. His name was Finn, and he was one of my friends, a close one at that. We lived on the same street, playing football in a field by his house and walking to and fro from school together each day. My dad used to take us to the cinema most Sundays, buying us each a hot dog, and when we got home, Mum would serve us a beautiful Sunday roast. Finn was like part of the family, and I still think about him to this day. Where could he have been now? What would he have done with his life? How diminished have we been, not knowing that boy or the adult he would have become? No laughs, no tears together, just an empty seat at the cinema, a vacant desk in the classroom. I remember his blue eyes and blonde hair more than anything for some reason. That and his happy-go-lucky nature. I missed him then, and even now I wish that it were not true. Like the others, Finn had been snatched from his bed as he slept on that most peaceful of nights, Christmas Eve. His parents had tucked him in, hanging his stocking over the fireplace, kissing his forehead, whispering a Merry Christmas as he fell asleep. They woke expecting to hear the excited scampering of footsteps of their son rushing down the stairs to see what Santa had brought, what rat's secret boxes he had left by the tree, and instead were confronted with an empty bed, the loss of their only child, and the open window sucking in the biting frost of Christmas Day. The parents of all three children would not let go, could not, nor would they assume the worst. Search parties were organised, flyers were continually posted through letterboxes, pasted onto bulletin boards and shop windows across the city, and the hope was always there that somehow, somewhere, the three children would be found, unharmed and ready to come home. That year, on the 28th of November 1965, all hope was extinguished. In an old sewage pipe across town, the crumpled, fragile bodies of Tommy, Cheryl and dear Finn were found stuffed unceremoniously into a corroded pipe in an old sewer, rotting in the waters below. The pain was palpable, the families inconsolable, and for all of us who knew any of the victims, it was to be a bleak and shadow-ridden Christmas. 3 days later the month turned. Eyes moved towards Christmas and the shaking fear that something cruel and callous lived among us all. 3 children in 3 years, now into the 4th. What would happen that Christmas Eve? Which family would be broken? Which child torn from its comfy warm bed, dreaming of Santa, only to be killed and discarded like a piece of fetid waste? My parents were nervous, and who could blame them? I sensed a change in atmosphere around the streets where I usually played, families pulling their children in earlier and earlier before the dark came. At night, on more than one occasion, I heard hammering echoing out from an unseen source, no doubt windows being nailed shut to prevent any more children being snatched as they slept. On the 1st of December, my dad hung our Christmas lights outside along the gutter of our roof, little beads of glowing colour piercing through each cold winter night. We tried to continue on as normal and think of happier times. As always, he asked me to help. "You're my wingman, little kiddo," he say from behind his bright red scarf, clambering up a set of wooden ladders to the roof above. He had flown for the Air Force before I was born and still used the lexicon of those days in the military, but I didn't mind. It made me feel special. In previous years I had been too small, too young to be of any real use in decorating the outside of our home, but my dad always included me. I think he just liked to do things with me, to have some father-son time. Standing at the bottom of the ladders, looking up at him and whistling Christmas songs out loud, made me feel part of the accomplishment, part of the yearly celebrations. That December was different. However, it was the first time I was big enough to go up the ladders with him, to look out at the old street below and see the occasional blink from a weathered set of lights clinging to a neighbour's fence or home. My mum was terrified. She had visions of us both falling to our death, but my dad always seemed sure of himself, not arrogant, just confident, and cheerfully reminding us all that things would be okay. Looking back, I think that's what I loved about him the most when I was a kid. The fact that he had it all in hand and did everything to reassure his family and friends. I never felt in danger up those ladders, always loved, always safe, always. Before we came down, I remember looking at the rooftops poking out in regimented lines from the streets around. I noticed the world seemed different from up there, and that to me, there appeared to be fewer Christmas lights than ever before. That night, I knew what was coming. My mum tucked me into my bed as my dad finished hanging some paper ring decorations from my bedroom ceiling. I always felt that those decorations protected me somehow. I'd stir in the night, scared of the dark, and yet at Christmas time I believed that somehow those pieces of coloured paper, that blinking Christmas tree in the other room, that those symbols, those pieces of good will would keep whatever monstrosities hidden in the dark at bay. My mum kissed me on the forehead and left the room, and there was my dad standing in the corner with his hands behind his back, smiling. "Well, wingman, you know what time it is?" he said as we both began to chuckle. "Let me see, Dad, please," I yelled, excited. From behind his back he produced an advent calendar. I leapt for joy across the room and hugged him before snatching it from his hands and diving back under the covers. Sitting down on my bed, Dad ruffled my hair with my fingers, watching me curiously. He knew I loved getting an advent calendar each Christmas, and I had worried that I wouldn't get one as he told me that most of the shops were sold out of them. But Dad being Dad, he'd spent hours driving around until he found one. I made sure that on the night of December the 1st, the first night of Advent, there it was. The calendar was beautiful, handmade with carefully crafted drawings on its front and back. The lines and sketch colours lovingly showed a Christmas street full of lights, with houses covered in snow and the windows beaming with a warm yellow glow, waiting for the night Santa would arrive. What I loved about each year's advent calendar, the good ones at least, was that they told a story. They showed something wonderful happening. Each door window would be opened night upon night, revealing a picture building until the magical climax of Christmas. I loved the anticipation of the holidays, and the advent calendar symbolised the hopes that Christmas held. Not just presents, although as a child that was a big part of it, but spending time with my family, seeing my grandparents who usually lived in another part of the country, and getting to eat all the chocolates and turkey I could cram into my mouth. Getting to be away from the boredom of school, getting to play with new toys, getting to have fun with my friends. It was the thought of friends which brought me down for a moment. Now I was holding an advent calendar, each cardboard door numbered from 1 to 24. From the 1st of December until Christmas Eve, the same night that 1 year previous my dear friend Finn had been taken, murdered and left to rot down the sewer. I began to cry, almost instinctively. My dad seemed to know what was upsetting me. He asked about Finn, and when he mentioned his name I sobbed deeper than I had since his death. My poor friend who would never again go on those carefree day outs with me or my dad, or walk alongside me to school laughing and playing. It was then that my father explained to me something about death, words which have always stayed with me. "You know something, kiddo? As long as you keep the memory of people you've lost in your mind and in your heart, they'll always be alive, they'll always be with you. So Finn is right here," he said, pointing to my chest gently. With those words, I felt a soothing comfort wash over me, and all cried out, my dad tucked me into bed, kissed me on the head and said good night, knowing to leave my bedroom door open slightly, to let some light from the hall keep my room from the dark. He had left the advent calendar sitting nearby, its closed windows facing me from my nightstand, and yet I was exhausted, and so my thoughts drifted from what lay behind those cardboard doors to sleep, and hopefully to a more rested state of mind. But that did not occur. I woke in the night from a horrendous dream about my friend Finn, little 4-year-old Cheryl, and 11-year-old Tommy Graham. Crushed down the sewer pipe, the water running over their bodies, into mouths which once spoke and laughed and smiled, only then to be rendered silent by an unseen brutal hand. In the darkness, Finn's voice cried out, garbled and drowned. A word came forth and clung to me like no other. Run. I leapt out from my bed, soaked in sweat, ready to cry out for my mum and dad, but then something strange caught my attention, shaking me to the core. I looked to the advent calendar, to the drawings of those cosy houses covered in snow, their windows beaming out into the cold December night. Sitting there, waiting, almost as if I had left it. Yet something was amiss. Something which I had no memory of. The first advent door had been opened. The cardboard left ajar like the one to my room. Stepping forward, the sweat dripped from my hand as I pulled the door back to reveal what secrets the calendar had in store for me. In what little light there was, I squinted, my mind slowly piecing together the picture behind door number 1. As my eyes adjusted, I recoiled in horror at the sight and screamed for my family. Within seconds, the light was on and my dad appeared, picking me up, consoling me as he put me back into bed. I pointed feverishly over to the calendar, telling him that something awful hid behind the door. Of course he looked and then smiled reassuringly. "It's just a happy Christmas scene, kiddo," he said, handing it to me. Looking closely, I could see that the picture had been changed slightly. It depicted an old stone bridge covered in snow. Children played on top of it happily. Yes, it appeared quite harmless and quite serene. My father left and soon I was drifting back to sleep, yet my mind hazed over with two thoughts, of Finn screaming "run" in my dream, and of what I could have sworn I'd seen in that first little calendar door. The bridge was there, but underneath in the dark, eyes looked out to the children playing gleefully above, eyes which seemed racked with rage and hate. The next day at school went quickly, but on my way home I dragged my feet over the bitter, frozen concrete paths and pavements, thinking of Finn and how he had always walked with me. As my house came into view, I smiled for a moment at the lights Dad and I had hung on the roof. They warmed my spirits. But when I entered my room, my soul was chilled stagnant once more. The next advent calendar door had been opened. This time I knew. I hadn't been there to do such a thing in my sleep, as I had assumed must have happened the night before. No, someone had opened it. I touched the yellow number 2 on the cardboard door, a number which should have promised a treat or a happy picture reminding me that Christmas was near. I hesitated and then looked behind it. Another street scene played out before me. This time a small boy pulled a red sledge behind him as other children threw snowballs at each other, grinning wide and happy. Ow! I just bit my tongue, fuck. Fuck, I just bit my tongue, Ouchie. Owie. Where was I? Here we go. At first I sighed with relief that the picture had no hidden intruder, no eyes staring out at the darkness in contempt. But just as I set the calendar back down on my nightstand, I saw it, the faint outline of a person looking out towards me, almost invisible, yet hiding within that Christmas scene in plain view, sitting there on the boy's red sledge. I closed my eyes and rubbed them, fearful that they might reaffirm the figure's presence once more when opened. But just as the darkened eyes had disappeared from under the bridge on the 1st of December, the faint outline of the unseen pretender had moved on from the picture. I knew that no one would believe me, and even worse, I barely believed it myself. My 9-year-old mind could not comprehend such a strange and ominous occurrence. Yet I was not so removed from the idea of horrid things scuttling around in the dark. Creatures which even parents could not protect you from. The figure had moved on, and I was certain of it, and I knew that it must have travelled and hid behind the door for the 3rd of December. The next morning, I told myself that I would not open any of the closed doors from the advent calendar. I promised myself, yet something was doing it for me. That night, I awoke in the darkness once more. The same dream played out. Poor Finn, muffled and drowning by the putrid sewage water, crying out in the dark, crying out and yet warning, pleading. "Run," he said, "run." Again, I leapt from my bed, and once more the calendar door for that day had been opened by an unseen force. There in the dark I looked, compelled by the fear of not looking, the terror of not knowing what was to come, for in the third picture it became clear to me something was on its way, something unspeakable was plotting and slowly but surely drawing closer. Behind that door lay another Christmas scene, families skating on the beautiful ice lake, and under that transparent barrier between the cold air and icy water there was a shape, dark and indefinite, but malevolent, but 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 ill-intended. a, a blurred form under the ice, eyes staring up in disgust at the families who happily skated above. I screamed again, and yet the results were all too familiar. My mum and dad arrived tired, yet never annoyed at their child for waking them up in the night. Mum put me into bed, as she did, so I explained frantically to them both that something was appearing in the advent calendar, that each door held proof of something which meant to do me harm, yet there was no evidence of it. Only 3 open doors showing happiness and fun at Christmas. Dad said I was having bad dreams, and that he and Mum would sit with me for a while until I fell asleep. I heard them whispering about work in the morning, but they were more concerned about me than losing a few hours of rest. The next day, again, I tried to ignore the advent calendar, tried desperately to avoid its doors, and again I failed. In the night I awoke from the same hideous dream, and yet this time the calendar was not open. The door with a yellow number 4 remained closed. I hoped that whatever strange thing was in those pictures had left, that I could forget the hateful, haunting eyes, and that I could return to simply enjoying the anticipation of Christmas. But just as I nodded back to sleep, happier than I had been since they'd first found Finn's body, I heard something, the sound of a thumb or finger pulling at cardboard. I opened my eyes and stared in utter disbelief as the 4th door was pulled open by an invisible hand in the dark. It is strange that I did not scream, but since then I have heard people say that when you are as scared as you possibly can be, that you cannot move, nor can you cry out for help. I opened my mouth and no noise came, a paralysis of fear which was overpowering. There I lay in the night, staring wide-eyed at the 4th door, wondering what disturbing depiction it would reveal, and even more so, terrified that whatever had opened it still lurked nearby. I wish that I could say that it stopped, that the horrid revelation ceased, but I cannot. Some nights the dreams of Finn yelling at me to run came, on others they did not. The only constant was that some point an advent calendar door would be opened, whether in the morning or at night. Each door would show a happy scene, and each time something hideous, which only I could see, would be momentarily present. One door showed a group of carolers cheerfully singing at night, warmed by the glow of an open window, and at the rear distant outline, something watching, something waiting, something moving on relentlessly to Christmas Eve, the last door. Another picture showed a small girl, no older than poor Cheryl, who had been killed, placing presents into a stocking, and yet for a moment there was the faintest impression of a hand reaching out from the stocking towards the girl. By the 20th, the horrific pictures had intensified, as too had the dreams. Finn now screamed my name, his voice echoing up through a drain, pleading with me to get away. And as those nightly terrors revealed themselves, the pictures had taken on more weight, more immediacy, for I was certain that they now showed the street where I lived. My dad found me crying that night, and when asked what was wrong, I told him. I believed that there was something evil coming, something horrendous, which had snatched a child each of the previous 3 Christmas Eves, the same evil which had taken my friend, that hidden horror which on Christmas Eve would come for me. Dad reassured me that this was not the case, that I was just imagining things. When he looked at the pictures on the calendar, he just saw nondescript scenes, anonymous faces, nothing which suggests the place where we lived, but I saw differently. The drawings clearly showed house by house, inch by inch, that something was drawing nearer each day. Fleeting glimpses of a faint figure waiting to gorge itself once more. My dad offered to throw the advent calendar away if it was upsetting me so much, but I pleaded with him not to. I needed to know. I had to see what was coming, what was on its way to snatch me from my family as it had done the other children. The 21st, 22nd and 23rd of December were torturous. While I should have been excited for Christmas Day, I was not. I was terrified, for I knew that I would never live to see it. The calendar door on the 21st, opened by something unseen while I slept, showed a house coming to view, one with glowing lights hung around the roof and gutter, and the faint outline of something terrible approaching nearby. I was certain that the house was mine, and that the light which beamed outward onto the snowy landscape was from my family. Though as I peered out into the night from my window, there was no snow in reality, just a biting wind and a frost which covered everything like a shroud. I could not see a figure out there, but I felt it, somewhere close, just waiting for Christmas Eve. On the 22nd, the figure drew closer to our home as the snow fell around it on the advent calendar, and on the 23rd, the prowler had reached the gate to our garden. That night I had such a terrible vision. In my dream, I found myself laying in the dark. I could not see, and all that surrounded me was the empty coldness of winter. Pain coursed through my body, and the sound of running water pushed over it, forcing me deeper into an abandoned drain. Putting my hand out instinctively, my fingers touched the frozen mouth of another child. Slowly it moved against my hand, and its stagnant lips whispered as if weakened, "Run. Get away." I did not wake up screaming, nor did I leap from my bed as I had the other nights like an animal fleeing from a predator. There I lay in the silence of the night, and in the stillness I cried. The paper chains and decorations my family had hung from my room ceiling proved no protection from the pain, or from the thoughts of the 3 children, how they had been taken or how I would be next. And then the day had come, Christmas Eve. I was frightened, but a distance took me, one which slowed my words and left me dispassionate about the festive season, about my family. I wish I had not been that way and had savoured every moment I had left, but I was drained, numbed by the lurking fear which had haunted me for weeks, tired of it all, a strain which no 9-year-old should have had to bear. My dad knew I wasn't my usual self, as I normally relished Christmas Eve like most children, excited and completely infused for what would come. But there I was outside in the cold, helping him fix part of the lights which had come unhooked in the wind. I watched my dad on the ladders once more, the wind rattling everything around, the slates on the roof, the trees, the gutter. I thought about how Finn's family, or little Cheryl's, or even Tommy Graham's, would have been preparing for Christmas Day like we were, happily unaware of the loss they were about to undergo. At least I knew I had foresight, each hideous picture hinting at the faint figure coming closer and closer to my home, to open my window as I slept waiting for Christmas morning, to snatch me from my bed, to slaughter me, discarding my body down a sewer pipe, used and forgotten. As the wind howled and the lights chinked and jingled together, I looked back to the gate of our garden, to where I had seen my future attacker. I could not see anything, just an empty street on the quietest night of the year, but in that absence I could feel eyes bearing into me. My dad climbed down the ladder, whistling merrily to himself, and as I looked up at him, I simply asked, matter of fact, if he would nail my window shut. He didn't ask why. He knew many parents had done the same, and so we went inside as the evening rolled in, carried by the promise of frost from the outskirts of the city. Dad got his toolbox out and drove a large series of nails into the frame on the window. Once I was confident there was no way to open it, I thanked him and asked if he would do one more thing for me, only one, to sit next to my bed all night and look over me until morning. Unlike the other nights, he did not tell me there was no monstrosity out there, nor did he say the world was a safe place, for that would have been a lie. He placed his hand gently on my shoulder and said, "If you need me, I'll sit right here until it's time to open the presents." And sit there he did. My mother came in to kiss me on the head before returning back to the kitchen where she was preparing things for dinner the next day. I so wanted to see it. Presents meant nothing to me by that night. All I cared about was being at the family table, laughing with Gramps and Gran, and knowing that the nightmare of December 1965 was over. I fell asleep as my dad sat by the bed reading his book. It must have been 2 or 3 in the morning when I woke. I was unsure of the precise time, but what I knew was that my dad was standing by my window, looking down out to the street below. I whispered to him and asked what was wrong, but his reply was hesitant. "Nothing, kiddo. Go back to sleep." Then I heard it, certain and laboured. The sound of footsteps slowly walking up our garden path outside, shambling forward towards our home. The sound frightened me, and my thoughts immediately turned to the advent calendar, to the faint outlined figure which had haunted me. From what little light there was, I could see that the door for Christmas Eve was sealed shut, yet to be opened. The footsteps continued, one after the other, slowly, steadily. My dad stared intently outside as I asked if he could see anyone there, but he just shook his head in disbelief. The footsteps ceased, and silence covered everything like the frost outside. Suddenly it was broken by 3 loud booming knocks. It was at our door. I cried out in terror and started sobbing. "It's come to take me, Dad, like Finn and the others," I howled in utter despair as tears slid down my cheek. "Nonsense. It must just be a neighbour or something," my dad said unconvincingly. "No, Dad, it's here to take me away," I screamed as I handed the calendar to him. "Open the last door, open it and you'll see. Christmas Eve. Each Christmas Eve it takes a child, and if you open that you'll see it. I promise you'll see it." 3 more loud knocks echoed out, and for the first time in my life, I saw fear flicker across my dad's face, as I could hear my mum stirring from her room, shouting through asking what was going on. 3 knocks once more, this time more pronounced. "Please, Dad, look at the door, open it and you'll believe me, it's here for me." I got a feeling I know where this is going. My father's hand trembled as it held the calendar tightly. Slowly he opened the last door to see what was shown. "God, no!" he yelled out, and with that we heard the most hideous of sounds, one which was laced with dread, a click of a lock, the turn of a handle, and the front door opening to the cold. Then footsteps climbing stairs, looking, seeking, and then slowly coming down the hall towards my room. "Dad, please help me," I pleaded as the nightmarish thing in our house drew closer. "Listen to me, son. As soon as I go out there, I need you to grab all your things, anything heavy, and barricade your door. Don't let anyone in this room unless it's me or your mother." I believe in that moment he saw the utter despair in my eyes, and before he left the room, as the footsteps reached the room next to mine, he spoke gently, patting me on the head. "It will be okay," he said, and then he was gone. I did as he said, and as soon as he had left the room, I moved my nightstand, my chair, my books, anything I could against the door, sobbing my eyes out, praying that my parents were safe. At first I heard nothing throughout our house, and then suddenly violent shouting erupted. A struggle quickly followed by what sounded like furniture being thrown and glass smashed. And then the worst of it, my mother screaming. She cried and yelled and agonized, and finally I could bear it no more. I could not leave her alone. Clearing the things away from my door, I opened it and wandered down the darkened hallway. A cold, icy air blew through the house. The front door lay open, decorations swung in the frozen breeze, and outside knelt my mother, alone, terrified, screaming into the night. Losing a parent is hard for a child, and to do so on Christmas Eve harder still. Yet the torture of that night cuts deeper than most. Few can know my true pain. Over the years, I have tried to understand it more clearly, understand what my life was before and what it is now, till it all avail. I cannot give solid explanations, nor can I say that my anger will ever truly diminish. I've tried to live as best as I can, putting the mystery out of my mind each year that is, until Christmas, when the memories flood back like a comforting blanket, soon torn away by a silent hand from the dark. My own children, now grown up, have asked me why I become a little distant at this time of year, and to that I have given no real answer. All I can say is this: I do know 2 things, both of which haunt me to this day. The first is that no one ever saw or heard from my dad again. My mother remained tight-lipped until she died about what had come into our house that night, what took her husband, and who can blame her. I also know what the last door of the advent calendar contained, and what had frightened my dad so badly. It was a drawing, like the others, a happy Christmas scene, with one horrid addition. It showed a boy sleeping soundly in his bed on Christmas Eve, a child who looked uncannily like my poor friend Finn, unaware that his life would soon be over, and he was being watched through the frosted window by his killer, whose face looked remarkably like that of my father's. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it! I fucking knew it! Holy shit, that was amazing! Holy fuck. That was like the best story of the night. Huh? Yeah. Holy shit. I knew it was coming a few paragraphs ago, but oh my god, holy shit. So if you're confused, basically, the dad is the one that killed the children, like... And the people at the door were probably the police arresting him. Damn. Yo, that one was so good. Holy shit. That was so good. What a story to end the stories on, huh? Holy shit, that was so good. I'm bookmarking that. That was so good. I want to read some comments on that. Someone says, okay, hold up. Why did the killer look like his dad? I wonder why. I wonder. Yeah. I will set up the Christmas short horror movies now. Have a good day and stream me. I'm on my flight. Thanks for dropping by, Mew Mew. Enjoy your flight. Stay safe. Okay, here we go. Short horror movies here. Let me turn off the ambience. And then let me open this up. Mute that before the advert starts playing. Nice, I got it. Okay. Let me change these actually. There we go, okay. Alright. Now give me OBS. Let me turn the desktop audio up. And then window capture, I believe. Yes, here we go. Control Alt. Let's make this bigger. Does that look good, chat, or should we make it a little bigger? I can smell something like burnt toast or something. No, I don't want it above images. I want it below the images. So like here. There we go. Think it's good? Okay. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Wait. Maybe if I take it out of theater mode, and then I can sort of make it a little bit. Okay. It stays completely the same. No. Okay. Alright, let me make sure the volume up. Alright. Our first short horror movie is called Santa, a short horror film by Alexander the Titan. So let's go. Let me know if it's too loud or too quiet.
And God bless Grammy and Grandpa, and God bless Mommy and Daddy, and also God bless Santa so they may find our house and bring us lots of presents. We've been good all year long, God. Well, except that incident at assembly last week, but that was Tommy's idea, God, not mine. So please don't punish me. Thank you.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna see if I can turn it down, like... Frame, yeah, the frames are funky. I think that was the start of it, no, but I'm gonna see if 480p works a little better.
Amen.
Santa, ooh, spooky. Oh my god, Batman in the background and Power Rangers.
Did you say your prayers?
Yes.
Good. Now get some sleep. Remember, Santa knows when you're awake.
How does he know when I'm awake? He's too busy delivering presents all around the world.
Santa doesn't share his secrets. You have your monster killer?
Yes, Mom, I have my monster killer.
Good. All right.
I think this is the best we're gonna get. Hey, anyone
Can
allowed
you
to call
leave
me
the
that is
door
Mizu?
open? Just a little, please.
Of course.
I think this is the best we're gonna get. We'll have to deal with the jittery
Remember,
frame rate.
he knows when you're awake.
Spooky. He knows when you're awake. Ooh.
Mom?
What the fuck? Time to get rid of the whole mum. Cause nah, fuck that shit. Ooh. Scary noises. Oh no! Oh no. Ooh. Oh no. Kid, I don't think your covers are gonna protect you from a rabid Santa. I don't think that it works like that.
Oh, hey, relax, buddy. Is everything okay?
Mommy is hurt. On the staircase.
Hey, it's all right, little man. Your mom's in the kitchen cleaning up that mess you guys made, baking those cookies for Santa Claus.
Everything okay? I heard you scream.
He's fine. He just had a little nightmare.
Oh, honey, everything's okay. We're just right downstairs. Go back to bed. Try to get some sleep, okay?
Yeah, you don't want Santa skipping over us because you're not asleep.
We love you, honey.
Love you too.
Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. No, why would you do that? You just stay in your room, wouldn't you? Why would you go out there?
Mom?
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're...
Damn. I can't take that ho seriously, not gonna lie. He's gonna be behind you. Why did that word scare me more than anything in this movie has so far? That word. Brace for impact, chat. Brace for impact. Brace for impact. Yeah, brace for impact. Okay. That wasn't as scary as I thought it was gonna be. Oh no. Wow. It's morning.
Good morning, Tyler.
Jesus.
Merry Christmas. We thought you were gonna sleep all day. Your father's ready to open presents. Come on downstairs, sleepyhead.
Why the fuck was she just standing in the corner like that? The fuck?
Whoa! There he is. Merry Christmas, little man.
You got me at football?
I'm gonna take you to the field, show you throw like your old man.
All right.
Hey. Let's wait for your mom, all right? We'll start with these little ones over here.
Little, he says as he moves probably the biggest presents on the
Merry
tree.
Christmas.
Thank you.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
Oh no.
He knows when you're awake.
Spooky. Oh. Father, what are you going to do with that hammer? Oh. That looked so goofy. That looked so goofy at the end there. That was so goofy. Okay. Let's get another one. This one. Wait, it's not showing, is it? Okay, it's not good. Can I drag a link and it will make a tab? Does that work? It does! Let's go! Oh, add. Quick, mute it. Nice. Okay, let's go. First day of Christmas, this one is Christmas presents! Let's go!
Did you take those vitamin C tabs?
The Mythbusters proved they don't work.
Fine, Stephanie. But if you're not better by tomorrow, I'll get my mom to make her famous chicken noodle soup.
I really appreciate you taking over this
chicken
babysitting
noodle
job
soup,
tonight.
yummers.
No problem. It'll be a quiet place to study, and I could use the extra
Her
money.
hair's so pretty.
And the walkers are really
Her hair's really
nice.
pretty.
Their kid is always in bed when you get there, and they tip extra. But be prepared.
Prepared for what? Mormons?
No. They're just really, really into Christmas. They get obsessed with the decorations.
That sounds nice.
So it's Christmas everywhere. Feel the magic in the air from the gingerbread
Yeah.
man that you hold in your hand. Your presents you share. Lights and lights wear. So it's Christmas everywhere.
Welcome. Come in.
Hi, I'm Mary.
I'm Tom. This is the wife, Judy.
Hi, Mary. Oh, so sorry we're in such a hurry.
Yeah, I thought the invitation said 7:30, but it was 7.
If you need anything, our numbers are on the fridge.
Help yourself to any food in the house. We shouldn't be but 2 or 3 hours.
Oh,
our
hell yeah.
den is filled
I'd
with
look forward
ornaments
to
and
the food in the house more than
decorations
payment for
and,
babysitting, not
you
gonna
can
lie.
admire them all you like. Just please don't touch, okay?
Of course. Have a great night.
You too.
I thought the girl said they get obsessed with the decorations. I literally just see Christmas lights at the moment.
Well, all right then.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Literally, all I have seen is 2 sets of Christmas lights. They don't seem very obsessed to me at the moment. Oh, I've always wanted to try those kinds of cookies. We don't really have those over here in the UK.
Wow.
That's not obsessed. That's just normal decoration. Okay, maybe that's kind of obsessed, but maybe they just like nutcrackers and collect them. I wouldn't exactly call it obsessed with Christmas. Oh, I'd be like, nah, fuck that. Nope, burning that thing. Wouldn't have that in my house. Hell no.
One of these things is not like the other.
And he took great offense to that, apparently. That would have scared the shit out of me too, don't worry, girly pop. It does look pretty though. Oh. Oh. Yo, that was a cool shot. What the fuck? That was such a cool shot. Seriously though, these people don't seem that obsessed with decorations. Nothing like cracking the nuts for real. Spooky. I'd be like, no, fuck that shit, fuck the kids, I'm out, bye, I'm going home, bitches. I'd be like, nope, bye bye. He's behind you. You can see the Santa breathing.
Hello?
Mary? Are you okay? I just wanted to check in, but the house phone just kept ringing.
Yeah, everything's fine. Honestly, I just scared myself a little bit. I never really got over being afraid of the dark, and as silly as this sounds, I just got really freaked out by that Santa statue.
What Santa statue?
Ooh.
Call the police!
Ooh. Yo. What Santa statue? Ooh, spooky. Oh, yeah. Let me get rid of this one. And then this again. Okay. Let's do this one. Drag the link over to here. Do. Add. Mute. Come on, mute it. Yippee. Yippee. Oh, yippee. The Quiet Riot. Okay, let's go. Oh, this one's weirdly shaped. This one's strangely shaped. It's fine though, I guess. I can't wait to bake mince pies. This is making me excited to bake mince pies. cookie cutter. Cute. I want to make gingerbread men one day.
All right. Stockings are hung up. Christmas tree's decorated. I got my fancy sweater on. Huh? So family's coming over in the morning. You ready?
Ugh, I should be ready by tomorrow. Did you ever put the lights up outside?
Shoot. No, I totally forgot. Look, I'll go buy some right now.
Where are you gonna find a place open this late?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll be right back. Love you.
Bruh. You are not gonna be able to buy Christmas lights on Christmas Eve. Oh, that's so cute. Gingerbread men are so cute.
Well, at least you're perfect.
Damn, okay. To be honest, if you don't think your boyfriend's perfect, you shouldn't be with him. Not gonna lie. Damn, okay. Oh, the shock face. Oh. Poor thing. Oh, I feel bad for it. Oh. It's alive! It's alive! Big yawn. Bum ba da bum. Oh. It's just a tiny little guy. Just a tiny silly little guy. With. Why would you pull it out? Why would you pull it out? What the fuck? That's a horrible idea, pulling it out. That's what they said, ayo. Oh. Oh no, oh no. Damn. Damn. Oh, kitty. I like to think the cat's like, what the fuck's going on here? What are they doing with these cameras? Damn. She dead.
They didn't even put any Christmas lights up?
It's like they didn't even try.
Hell yeah, get him! Kibby! Yeah, Kibby! Hell yeah, get him, gingerbread cookie. I'm on the gingerbread cookie side on that one. Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, we're about to see my favourite short horror movie channel. Not because they're scary, but because they're just funny and like, they're fun to watch. I'm so excited for this one. This is Mean One by ACM Official. Once the advert is finished, that is. There we go. I love this channel, man. They're so fun to watch.
Forgot the milk.
Did a bird just shit on her? What the fuck? Oh no, the Grinch has been. Oh no, the Grinch has been. Oh, oh no. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Suspicious activity reported at your location. Why would you leave your kid downstairs to sleep? That's not Santa, kid. That's not Santa.
Santa?
That's not Santa.
Santa, is that you? Santa, come out. It's me, Sally Sue.
Sandy Sue as opposed to Cindy Lou. I like that. As if the parents wouldn't hear that. Why'd he tickle the ball like that? What the fuck?
Thanks for the car, Santa.
Why'd he tickle the ball like that?
You're welcome, Sally Sue.
Oh no! That. Damn, Sally Sue gone. She dead. Oh no. Oh my god, another ACM official. Bless my silly kawaii life. Ad. Muted. Mute the ad. Muted. Yeah. Do, 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 do. Okay, let's go. Elf on the Shelf, short horror film by ACM official. Spooky! Elf on the Shelves are so freaky for no reason. Hell nah.
I'm gonna get you.
Oh. Oh.
Ellie, what are you doing out of bed? And why did you get out the elf on the shelf?
I didn't.
Yes, you did. Because I mean, he always goes back to the North Pole on Christmas Eve.
But I didn't. He was sitting right here.
Okay, enough. Now, unless you want to help me put all these decorations away, I suggest you take yourself back to bed.
Why is she putting decorations away?
Fine, I'll go to bed.
Why is she putting decorations away? It's Christmas Eve.
See you next year.
It really annoys me, people that like put their decorations away before like December even ends. Like, bruh, it's 12 days
Ellie.
of Christmas, like 25th is the first day.
I know you're in here.
Hi Neon, how are you? I'm not going back in storage. Ooh, spooky. Oh, damn! Bro bought the gang too. Bro bought the gang. Damn. Oh, why is it whispering in my ear like that? Stop it! I hate that. Has she been turned into an elf on the shelf? Let me guess. Oh, no, she's in storage. Okay. Ah, stop whispering in my ear. I hate that. No! Wow. You're not open until Xmas. Damn. Damn. Okay, what's next? Oh my god, another ace. Oh my god. I know me so well. I put another ACM official one. I know me so well. It's almost like I know what I like. The Boo Boo Christmas, oh hell no.
Here. You go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
You go first.
Okay, we'll go at the same time. Okay, on your mark, get set, go.
Oh yeah, ugly Christmas sweaters.
Where did you get this?
In this cute little shop on Melrose.
Right down 2nd Street.
Right there around the corner.
That's where I got yours.
No way.
Yes! Well, try it on.
You too.
Okay. How do I look? It's electric. How do I look?
It looks a little big on you, but it looks good.
Amazing laughs, by the way.
What's wrong?
This sweater is very warm.
Oh. It shrunk to fit her body, damn.
It feels like it's getting tighter.
Oh my God. I gotta take this off.
Me too.
Oh no! It's still on them.
Oh! It shocked me.
Oh no!
It's getting tighter.
It shocked me again.
Infinite sweaters. Ouch! I can feel the pain, holy shit.
Jenna, Bailey, Merry Christmas. Merry
Is she gonna explode?
Christmas to
Okay, you know what? The Boo Boo Christmas time. Let's go.
People have a lot.
I don't care what people have a lot of. Let's address the elephant in the
best
room.
one on top.
The Boo Boo time.
Okay, Colby, time for bed.
The carrots! We forgot the carrots for the reindeer.
I'll get them. Now off to bed. We don't want to be awake when Santa comes.
I have a lot of. Right. Nice merch plug. Nice merch plug.
How did you get down there? I could have sworn I put you in the stocking.
Jesus, that buzzer scared me more than anything in these horror movies.
Duty
not gonna lie.
calls.
Oh, I hate it. Its little noises are so cute. I can't find it scary. Its little noises are so cute. You should have put it in the fireplace for real. Damn.
Colby?
Sounds like it's loading a gun. What the fuck? Sounds like it's like loading a shotgun. How dare you, La Boo Boo?
Hello? Is anyone there? I know someone's there.
Show yourself.
It's behind you.
Who's there?
Dun, dun. Oh, there's more. Bro bought the gang. The laughing and the tree wiggling at the end, that was funny. I feel like I shouldn't be finding these funny, but... Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, it's not Christmas related, but do y'all want to see my like favorite series from this channel? ACM official Netflix and chill. These are my favorite horror, like short horror movies from this channel. They're funny. They're funny as hell to me.
Out here.
We'll only watch one because it's meant to be a Christmas thingy. But hi, spectator. How are you? We're just watching short horror films now.
It's finally out.
We're just watching one of my favorites from this channel, and then we'll get back to Christmas horror movies.
Hello?
Hey, the new season's out.
I know. What do you think I'm watching right now?
Are you gonna binge it all tonight?
Duh.
What are you eating? Wait, don't tell me. Cookies?
No. I'm on a diet, remember?
What are you eating then?
Sliced veggies.
If you say so. Well, I'm gonna get back to the show. Talk later.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
I'd be confused too.
Didn't I just have...
If you say so.
It really has been a long day.
Most fake ass acting. I feel like this channel is more like comedy than horror. It like leans into all the memes like the boo boo and stuff. I think it's supposed to be like sort of for children kind of. But they're so fun to watch. My grandpa just passed and I need alone time. Oh no. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Seriously?
Charge your phone, lady.
Why won't everyone just leave me alone?
Bum, 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 bum.
Hello?
Erica, it's Mom.
Mom, you don't have to say it's you every time. Your number's saved in my phone. We've been over this.
Erica, I have some really bad news. It's your grandpa. He passed away.
What?
I'm so sorry, sweetie. It just happened. Can you come over?
Right now?
Yes. Your brother's already on his way.
I can't right now.
Did you not hear me? Your grandpa's dead.
Mom, I know, but I barely knew him, and it's late.
Erica, you better come right now.
Mom, I'm really sick, and I've been coughing. And I have the chills. Let me get some rest, and if I'm feeling better, I'll head over. First thing in the morning.
Okay, rest. I don't want you getting everyone sick.
Our main character is a bad person, by the way.
Okay, Mom. Good night.
Love you. Good night.
She's choosing watching her show over comforting her family. She's such a bad person. She deserves everything she gets.
Hello? Are you happy with your current internet service?
Sorry, I actually can't talk right now. I have a really bad headache.
She ain't even got someone over to chill with, for real.
Hello?
Did you say you were happy with your current internet
Leave
service?
me alone. You're giving me a brain aneurysm.
Oh no. Damn. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna get some food real quick. I'll be right back, and then we'll watch some more Christmas horror movies. Be right back. I'm back. Yippee. I got ham and cucumber tiger bread rolls. Yummers. Welcome back. Thank you. Okay. Let's see which one next. Let's do. I've only got a few to choose from now. Let's do this one next. He sees you. I love how you can immediately tell this is somewhere in or near the UK. The channel's called Irish Horror, by the way. I love how you can immediately tell. Okay. Watch out, lady, you have a stalker. Right, okay. You wouldn't go outside, you turn like a cafe worker that, hey, I think there's a man stalking me. And then they'll be like, okay, let's call the cops. You definitely wouldn't walk home alone. I'm not an idiot. He's gonna be behind her. Mom! Okay.
He's there when you're awake. Doesn't matter if you're bad or good.
That one was kinda meh, not gonna lie. Okay. Let's do this one. This one next, yeah. Nom nom nom.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. And a
That thing's creepy as hell, what the heck?
New Year.
First night, what the heck?
Santa's got a present for one special little boy. Are you special?
It's so creepy, what the heck?
I'm going to unwrap your skull.
Oh, okay, that took a sec there. Went from 1 to 100 real fast.
wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. At midnight.
Oh no. Creepy.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
I would have broken it by now. I would have broken the damn toy and gone back to sleep by now.
It's almost time to take your present. 20 seconds.
I have bro just doesn't know what's going on. It's so scary, what the heck?
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good...
Can jump and get us, please?
You're just ahead.
Damn. Crazy. Christmas. That was the movie. This one was okay. The one we watched before was kind of mid. Hey, there she here. I need friends. Christmas, AO. Well, it's on YouTube, so it can't be down. Not safe. And it's ACM official. These rolls are so good.
Christmas, everyone. Thank you so much to all of my fans. And for anybody who's new, my name is Kira. Welcome. Hello. Hi. Do you like my new Christmas outfit? Thank you. Thank you. And because it's Christmas, I decided to have a special Christmas giveaway. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Who will pay to take Kira home for Christmas?
Very flattered, thank you.
I think so.
How did you get my number?
Damn. Damn, okay.
What do you want? Okay, you've had your fun. You can stop now.
What?
Everybody, just stop. Stop commenting. I'm being serious. Stop. I'm not for sale.
What's your emergency?
Hi, I think someone is trying to abduct me.
Can you tell me where you are?
I'm at home.
Is there someone in your home?
No, I was just doing a live stream and...
Are you sure?
What?
Are you sure? There's no one in your home.
Leave me alone!
Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey Kira, do you want to play a game? Ooh, altar. Grimace Shake, ain't no way. Oh my god, here's another ACM official one I haven't seen. Is it gonna be an ad or?
Oh, it's not always.
There is an ad. Which reindeer has the shiny red nose? Reindeer. Wait, what? Rudolph. Rudolph has the shiny red nose. 100% real snow there. I think I'll make this the last one before we raid out. Unless you guys want to hear a couple more of the
Mom?
stories.
Is everything alright? It's late. We've been through this. I can't make it home for Christmas. I have to work.
I don't mind reading another one or two of the stories, it was fun. And I won't be streaming till the 23rd, so I'll get some rest with my throat afterwards. How's your throat feeling? My throat's feeling fine. And I won't be streaming till the 23rd, so it'll get some rest.
Zara?
Do anyways.
Zara?
Sorry, there's this. Mom, I gotta go. My phone's about to die.
If you want to, I'm down. We'll see. I'll see. Or maybe some your turn to die? Maybe. No. By the time I've started up the game and stuff, we won't have long to Scary. Spooky. Shrimp. Aw, cute. Besides you, there are 2 women. Hell yeah. What's in the box, I wonder? A dress. It's a dress, damn. Hi. Merry Christmas. Like the yellow dress. One likes Christmas, the other says creepily, yeah. For real. Who is this? Show yourself. I see you. Behind you.
How did you get my number? And how do you know my name?
Damn. Run, girly pop, run.
That's it. I'm calling 911.
Spooky. Oh no. Look behind you, girly. Damn. Oh. Damn. Got the girl freeform dance in public. For real. Damn. Okay. How long have we been going for? 2:10. Wow, that's longer than I thought. Okay, one more. I think one more story. One more story, and I'll have the Christmas ambience playing in, like the video too, playing. Let me turn the desktop down to about what it was. You know what? This works even better, a live stream.
Etsy's top 100 gifts is here.
No! Gee whiz, I sure hope no one's saying slurs in their chat or something. Can I close the chat, please? Okay, there we go. Look at that, that's cozy, isn't it? Okay. Let me bring up this tab now. Is it too loud, too quiet? Or is it just right for one more story? A little quiet? That's what I want it to be, just a little quiet. Wait, did I delete the thingy with the stories like an absolute idiot? I think I might delete the post with the stories. Okay. You know what? Let's use Google, the old-fashioned Google way. /no sleep Christmas. Christmas stories. Trying to find. Here we go. Here's the thread I found all the thingies for. Let's do this one. Let's read this one. This story is... Oh, it's archived. Can I still read it? Oh, it's archived and the user's been deleted. Damn. That sucks. Me close. I can also put this on a lower quality. Oh, that sucks. It was deleted. Let me find another one. Christmas short horror stories. Horror stories. Here we go. Here we go. This is the thread I visited, I think. /no sleep. Here we go. This is the thread I visited. Christmas horror /no sleep finder. Okay, let's see. Let's do... Let's do this one. How long is it? Not that long. Okay. Alright. This story is called Don't Look Outside on Christmas Eve by Tom Brooks. My hands are trembling as I write this. I'm hiding in my towel closet. I called the cops, but I don't think they'll be here in time. I mean, who takes calls on Christmas Eve, seriously? They probably think I'm some teenager prank calling them since I have nothing better to do than taking away time from someone's Christmas. Who would believe what I'm about to say anyway? Let me back things up and set the scene for you. I live alone, 2 states away from my family. I feel terrible for not being able to visit them this year. I've been having financial struggles as of recent. Paying off student loans is no joke. This is the first time I've been able to live on my own. I'm renting a cabin in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, Wisconsin. All that's around is a convenience store and a bar. The place is nice and the rent is cheap, so who am I to complain? 1 bed, 1 bath, and a cramped kitchen that's right behind the living room. The living room has a nice fireplace too. It keeps the house warm through the night. So, now that you've got the picture, I need to share my experience, no matter how few people see it. I didn't have big plans for the holidays. Stay at home, watch some TV, and eat a frozen pizza if I was lucky. No big fancy dinner, no visitors, just an average night. That's just what happened. I kicked back on the couch with pizza in hand and watched Christmas movies until my eyes grew heavy. I was awakened by a knock at my door at around 11:45. It's dark and snowy out, per usual this time of year. I don't get visitors, nor could I see who it was, so I looked out the small window in the living room. Frost cloaked the glass, making it a challenge to see who was waiting for my answer. I could make out a human-like figure. My gut was telling me to stay away from what was at my door before I even got a chance to move. The snow was falling so heavily that it was hard to see anything beyond 6 feet of my house. I trusted my gut though and moved to my room. I began to think that I was a bad person for leaving whoever was out there in that icy mess. Just as the thought entered my mind, the knocking grew louder. I covered my ears in response to the noise beyond my door. I faced away and it only got worse. Bang! 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 I was right to trust my gut. Bang! 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 I shouldn't open the door. Bang! 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 I can't let this go on. I exhaled deeply and threw my legs over the bed and reluctantly shuffled over to my door. I twisted the knob and peeked outside. The cold weather nipped at my face as a reply. Hello, I peered through the crack. Hi, the person started. I began to make out facial characteristics and realized it was a young woman. My car broke down and this seemed like a good place to seek shelter. That was a red flag to me. There's a convenience store and a bar within a mile of each other. Why show up at a random house for help? Now, I consider myself a nice guy, but the holidays don't make me a giving person. I don't like my sleep being interrupted either. I started. I wasn't sure how to respond. Her behaviour was off, to say the least. She was glancing over her shoulder as if she could see anything through the darkness and snow. I can give you a number for a towing company. There should be an inn at least a few miles from here. The towing company can take you. She didn't seem satisfied. Are you sure? She inquired. It's awfully cold out here, and I don't know how long it will take them to get here. She began to look more paranoid. Her eyes darted from side to side, up and down. It was really freaking me out. Listen, hon. My house is a wreck and it's the middle of the night. I'm sorry, I know it's the holidays, but I have a thing about letting strangers into my house. I immediately regretted saying those words. Her fear turned to anger. At this point, she became hysterical. She kicked, punched, and beat my door, trying to force herself in. Her polite words were now screams. Let me in! Let me in! The Jane Doe at my door pounded harder and harder. It seemed like my door was about to break. What the hell are you supposed to do in this situation? So, in the spur of the moment, I just locked the door. The knob rattled violently and then stopped abruptly. I picked up my phone and alerted authorities that there was a manic woman outside my house. At this point, I figured she'd given up and left. I sat down in front of my TV and tried to enjoy the rest of the night. I pondered why she was so upset. No family? Trauma? None of my theories added up. Just as my thinking had concluded and I began to relax, I heard a faint sound. A sound that was so quiet but seemed so loud. It was the shuffling of snow outside my window. I pulled my blinds back and peeked outside. The dim light from the street lamp shone onto my white lawn. The woman was making a circle in the snow. I squinted, trying not to reveal my presence. My eyes began to adjust to the darkness outside. It was now 1 a.m. There were symbols I couldn't recognize and a large pentagram in the center. When she finished her artwork, she looked right at me. She was staring into my soul. Her gaze sent chills down my spine. Her mouth opened at inhuman angles. Just then, a scream was released. I fell back into the couch. What the fuck do I do? I called the cops for a second time. Right, Ness, I'll be censoring my address for my own security. Here's how that phone call went. Address. I need police. Please come quick. Sir, we already have the sheriff and backup on their way. They should be there within the hour. Lock your doors. I heard a click on the other end. Well, what am I supposed to do now? I'm alone in this house, which seems much more ominous than the night before. There's some psycho lady standing in my yard in the middle of the night. To top it off, the cops that should be arresting this woman are probably out for drinks. I let an audible sigh and sat out on the floor with my back to the couch. This was not what I thought of as an ideal Christmas. I figured I might as well freshen up and get ready for bed. Any sliver of hope left in me was gone. I picked myself up off the floor and made my way to the bathroom. I didn't want to risk her seeing me, so I just used a dim flashlight on my phone. I brushed my teeth and rinsed my face. I thought that would make me feel better, more alert. I was wrong. Once I had finished, I heard a knock at the door, followed by a scream. It was deep, unlike the shrieks previously heard from the girl. Something in me clicked. I mustered the strength to peek outside. There were blue and red lights flashing, signaling help had arrived, but something was wrong. The lights from the car further illuminated my lawn. There were 2 mangled bodies left inside of it, of what I can only describe as the altar. Remnants of black uniforms informed me of who they were. Police. Another guttural howl was heard, this time only a few feet away from my window. I did the only thing I can think of, and that was to hide. That brings me to the now. I'm in my towel closet. There are 2 dead bodies in the snow and something outside my house. Something not human. I don't know when she, or it, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, will get inside, but my gut is saying that she will. I couldn't have picked a worse spot to hide. I feel like the idiot friend in a horror movie that gets plucked off first. Please, if you're reading this, protect yourself this holiday season. Don't let it know you're there. Don't be like me. Please, save yourself and your family. I just heard something come down the chimney, and it's not Santa. She's inside. Some of you wrote in the comments of that story, so you came out. Big yawn and stretch, oh my goodness. Okay, let's raid somebody. La 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 la. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let me see. Bum bum bum. Let's see who's live. I wonder if Manai is still live. Iron Mouse is live. We could raid Iron Mouse. Should we raid Iron Mouse? Manai is still live too. Should we raid Iron Mouse or Manai? I feel like Iron Mouse just went live like this second, because she only has 300-ish viewers. What do you think? Should we raid Manai or Iron Mouse? I'm down for either. You know what? I think I want to raid Iron Mouse. She is like a big inspiration for me. I would say so. I'd like to introduce my community to her, but I don't think there's a VTuber fan who hasn't heard of Iron Mouse. If there is, damn. If there is, well, damn. I don't know what to say. But it'll be nice, you know. She's like great representation for chronic illness in the community, I guess. And I'm grateful to her and stuff. I don't know how to say these things, but yeah, let's raid Iron Mouse. I heard she's really kind when you raid her too. No matter how small numbers you have, so. And hey, if I can raid Curio Cypher, I can raid anyone. Curio Cypher's scary, not gonna lie. Okay, let's go. Iron Mouse. I wonder if she has a... I think I've raided her before, actually. If I remember correctly, I raided her before. She might be in starting soon, actually. Oh no! She's here. Okay, let's raid. We aren't able to raid my mouse at this time. Okay, I guess she has like a max amount of viewers that can raid. Okay, let's go to Manine then. Guess you can only raid her if you have a certain amount of viewers. Gotcha. Let me close the ambience. I think that's making it lag a bit. Well, this is awkward. It's just silence. Okay. Thanks for coming, chat. I had fun. This was so nice and cozy. And made me want to curl up with you all and go to sleep in a blanket. Next stream will probably be on the 23rd and it will be like the Christmas special. Like we'll be playing some Christmassy games. I don't know what else, but we'll see. Okay, bye bye chat. I get kiss and cuddles. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye bye, bye bye. Say hi to my boss. Bye bye. Subscribe to his YouTube too.